Welcome back. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive. Well, we are all aware of the terminology Islamophobia, but there's another phobia whose existence has always been denied, not only in India but also abroad. For the very first time, a stalwart, a political figure from the West has officially accepted the term of Hinduphobia, calling it a reality and promised to build a memorial for the same in Washington. In a mega Hindu outreach, former US President Donald Trump, during an event on Diwali, credited his 2016 win to Hindus and vowed to build a Hindu Holocaust museum. In fact, Donald Trump's statement is being seen as an outreach to the Hindu community across US, which is seen as one of the swing factors in many of the US states. Now, the Hindu community in the United States, of course, backed the Republicans in 2016, and efforts are on to woo the rest of the voters.
They said, what did you think of 2020 compared to 2016? I said, well, we did much better in 2020.
Yep.
Yes. We had support from the Hindu population, the great Hindu people both times, and great support from India, people from India. I fully endorse the idea of building a Hindu Holocaust memorial in D.C. I totally do. I mean, I think it's time.
Understandably, it was met with much fanfare, as you just heard, but the announcement by Trump has also created political ripples across India. Opposition has slammed the move by Trump and called it against the secular fabric of India and also anti-Muslim.
I want to remind Mr. Donald Trump that India is not only about Hindus. India is a country which is known for its unity and diversity, where people of different sect, different religion, caste live together. So by this statement, he is undermining the sacrifices made by the people of this country for this great nation. He is undermining the sacrifice made by many Muslims, many Sikhs.
आज जो हालात बदले हैं, दुनिया के दो बड़े लोकतंत्र, एक तरफ अमेरिका में कमला हैरिस का वहाँ वाइस प्रेसिडेंट चुना जाना, दूसरी तरफ भारतीय मूल के ऋषि सुनक का ब्रिटेन के तख्त पर, ब्रिटेन के प्रधानमंत्री पद पर आसीन होना, ये दो ऐसे बड़े निर्णय हैं जो मैं समझता हूँ वो हिंदुस्तानी मूल के एकजुटता के कारण संभव हो पाए।
उसके डिविसिव पॉलिटिक्स का पार्ट है, वो ये भूल रहा है कि भारत देश जो है इसमें डाइवर्सिटी है। यहाँ के हिंदू, यहाँ का मुसलमान, यहाँ का सिख, यहाँ के ईसाई, हर एक कम्युनिटी का इस देश को बनाने में बहुत बड़ा बलिदान है, सेक्रीफाइस है, कंट्रीब्यूशन है। आप किसी एक कम्युनिटी को पकड़ के आगे नहीं ले जा सकते।
Now, this statement of Trump comes after India raised the Hinduphobia issue in the United Nations in January this year. In fact, remember when T.S. Tirumurti had told the world body to recognize Hinduphobia amidst a fight against terrorism. Otherwise, he said that the battle would be selective. So let me go across to our editor-in-chief, Rahul Shivshankar. He's joining us now. And Rahul, I believe you have a special guest joining us as well on the show.
In fact, Meghna, yes, I'm speaking to, and if we just play out those visuals of President Trump on our screens, you will see a man to his left, in fact, in the background. So just over his left shoulder is an individual who is standing with him, and his name is, of course, Shalabh Shalli Kumar, who is the founder of the Republican Hindu Coalition, and he joins us, viewers, this evening. Mr. Shalabh Kumar, you're, of course, in the United States. Would you say that finally, through the advocacy of the Indian government and, of course, Indians such as you, the world is finally waking up to a dismal reality that had been, at least till now, vociferously denied?
Well, it's people like myself and others who are bringing it out in the forefront, and also the politicians in the world, in UK, in the United States, are recognizing the Hindu power, the Hindu talent, overall what Hindus have contributed to civilization. Until 2016, the Hindu word was not there in Washington, D.C. And that's because the Indians themselves are a little shy for whatever reason, to calling themselves Hindus, I declared very loudly, I'm a very proud Hindu. Bharat is my Janam Bhumi and America is my Karam Bhumi. And why should I be shy of calling myself a Hindu? And Republican Hindu Coalition was formed is patterned after Republican Jewish Coalition. And I saw that a small number of Jewish people, only 5.5 million in the United States, and worldwide just 15 million. And the Hindus are over 1 billion Hindus. In the United States, there are 6 million Hindus, and they are not, at this point, connected together just like the Jewish people are. The Jewish people, what binds them is the Holocaust. And I know, as a student of history, that at least there was a Holocaust of Hindus from 1100 to, let's say, 1700, 1800, for 500-600 years. Radical Islam of that time, at least 50 million. The number is anywhere from 50 million to 100 million. So if, our children don't know that, our grandchildren don't know that, that's not being taught.
Right.
So I have an idea. I had an idea a few, let's call it 6 months ago. That is, if we build a Hindu Holocaust memorial between Washington, D.C. and in Washington, D.C., between Capitol Hill and White House, a prominent place, we would expect to have 250,000 to 500,000 visitors. Hindus all across the world, children, they will learn what happened, what is Hindu, how genocide was there, what did the radical Islam of that time did. Again, just the persecution of Kashmiri Hindus. 1947, I am from Punjab. So my parents were living in Lahore at that time. And, 1971, Razakars. So, that's the history is full of this.
That of course is true, Mr. Kumar, that of course is true, but many also say that Mr. Trump, and this is happening here in India, and it's been said in different contexts also, that Mr. Trump, keeping the elections in mind and the fact that he perhaps will be a contender once again for the presidentship, is playing vote bank politics in the United States because he knows that the Hindu vote counts. How do you respond to that?
Well, no, he's just recognizing, he's recognizing that the Hindus have made a significant contribution and will make a significant contribution to civilization, to make America great again. So, if there is a group of people who can contribute so much, that is, initially it was in technical field, engineering and medicine, one out of, like Dr. Oz, usually a candidate for senator from Pennsylvania, he says 1 out of 8 doctors in the United States is a Hindu. Mm-hmm. So we make a tremendous contribution. Right. So it is to court that that constituency is very important. The only thing, unfortunately, the Democrats on one hand celebrate Diwali. It was same thing was happening in 2015. President Obama at that time did that. Celebrate Diwali. Next day, meet the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and at that time it was 650 million. This time is 450 million. Just a what do you call that? Double speak. So, and the President Trump was very clear. He is very clear on this issue. He promised me in July of 2016 that he will cut off foreign aid to Pakistan completely, and he did. So on a global stage, what is happening at this point in time, that is, you have Rishi Sunak, a Hindu, Prime Minister of UK, and you have President Trump, who loves Hindus and recognizes their contribution. So, you know, in 2024 come around, there is a very strong potential of changing the entire world order. President Trump and I, in the last 6 months, have grown a lot closer. We meet regularly. We are completely in line with policy. President Trump also loves Prime Minister Modi. And so, you know, this three-people team, that is President Trump, Rishi Sunak, and Prime Minister Modi, can change the world order. And you know, primarily China, I mean, right now, Pakistan is a small player. But the really existential threat is China. So President Trump is completely in line with my thoughts. Our thoughts are totally aligned with respect to confronting China. We have in RSC leadership a lot of manufacturers that were heard in the late 1990s, early 2000s, when China was allowed to get into WTO. There was a big, huge impact on their businesses. China has wiped out so many industries in the electronics. That's where I'm in. And the president, so our people asked the president, would he agree to having sustained terror?
So correct me if I'm wrong. What you're suggesting, Mr. Kumar, is that Trump is not in any way paying lip service. He's a genuine friend of Bharat and is therefore advocating what he believes are important causes. I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shalabh Kumar, for speaking with me. We will, of course, have more conversations as the days and weeks unfold. This is bound to be, it's a great beginning, and I'm sure it's going to fructify into major developments further down. Thank you very much. It's very interesting, Meghna, that this conversation is now gone global, and you were making the point that Ambassador Trimurti had been raising this issue also in the United Nations. Do we actually have his soundbite? It would be very good to play that.
I think we do have the graphics of it, so we can put out the quotes, and I believe we have the bite ready. So let's listen into what exactly said just a few months back, the first official global announcement as well, which had come in.
India's multicultural edifice has over centuries made it a safe haven for all those who seek refuge in India, whether the Jewish community or Zoroastrians or Tibetans or from our own neighborhood. It is this underlying strength of our nation that has withstood radicalization and terrorism over time. It is with this sense of history that India has continued to play a defining role to combat radicalization and terrorism and promote tolerance and inclusion. Aberrations are dealt with within our legal framework, and we do not need selective outrage from outsiders, especially when they are self-serving, even communal in nature, and pursuing a divisive agenda. As we have emphasized time and again, combating religiophobia should not be a selective exercise involving only one or two religions, but should apply equally to phobias against non-Abrahamic religions as well. Till this is done, such international days will never achieve their objectives. There cannot be double standards on religiophobias.
Trump Hindu Tribute. That's the hashtag that you can use to tell us what your views and opinions on the story is. You can connect with us on social media.